Welcome to our next presentation. My name is Jacob Lemke. I'm an equity research analyst here at ABG Sundal Collier, following the healthcare space. Our next company presenting is Probi, and presenting today are CEO Tom Rönnlund and CFO Henrik Lundkvist. And with that, I leave over to the presenters.
Thank you for that, and thank you to the conference organizers for inviting us today, and thank you for listening in and participating in this presentation here. As mentioned, I'm Tom Rönnlund, CEO of Probi, and eventually here during our presentation, my colleague and the CFO of the company, Henrik Lundkvist, will also join here. Next slide, please. Please familiarize yourself with our safe harbor statement. Next slide, please. So, in these 20 minutes, we're going to try to cover the following items on the agenda. A brief introduction to our company, talk a bit about the probiotics market and why that is an exciting space to be active in as a company. Present a little bit about our company, our strategy as well. Provide a bit of a performance update as well with regards to the first half year, and then open up for some Q&A as well. Next slide, please. So, Probi, if you're not familiar with Probi since before, we are a leading international business-to-business probiotics company. That means that we are researching, documenting, and producing probiotics, i.e. live bacteria, which are being used in different types of deliveries like dietary supplements or food and beverage to convey a positive health effect for the consumer. We have a 30-year-long history in this field. Our headquarters is here down in Lund, in south of Sweden, and quite close actually to the Lund University, where the origins of our company was found. A group of gastroenterologists realized that by using certain types of bacteria, they could help their patients better. That was the idea and the research that led to the founding of our company 30 years ago, and which has today then grown into a global probiotics solution provider with a 180 strong team of team members, sites in 4 locations in the world, here in Lund, 2 manufacturing facilities in the US, and a sales representative office in Asia as well. Last year, we garnered around 717, close to 720 million Swedish kronor of sales, with a healthy margin of 27% of EBITDA. Next slide, please. The probiotic market, it is an exciting space to be in. It has experienced over decades actually a widened and broadened usage of probiotic solutions for healthcare applications. The largest ones that you probably are familiar with include gut health, benefits for gut health, as well as for immune health, as certain probiotics have been proven to have a positive effect for strengthening your immune system. These are the 2 biggest areas of use of probiotics today, but also other areas have and are emerging. Nutrient absorption, bone health, gut-brain, vaginal health, and a whole range of different types of health areas can be supported by the complex microbiota and the balance in there that we carry in our bodies. So over the past years and also moving into the future, this market is expected to continue to grow. Scientific progress in our field, new technologies leading to further understanding of how important our gut microbiota is for our overall health as individuals. New areas are being discovered constantly in terms of where probiotics can play a beneficial effect on human health. We also see that the global population, it is expected, I believe, to be about 10 billion people in 2050. And that combined with a longer life expectancy, higher standards of living in many different parts of the world, and a continuous focus on personal health and well-being are other major factors and drivers which continues to fuel the probiotic market. And in the next few years to come, it is expected that the market will be growing with approximately 4 to 5% on an annual basis. We as a company have higher ambitions than that. Our long-term objective is to grow by 7% on an annual basis, and we see our product portfolio, the market expansion, and our scientific validation of our products as key components in that growth journey. Next slide, please. Our strategic focus as a company is homing in basically on three different areas which are important to our success as a company. One is growth. We have a great product portfolio. We have scientifically validated product concepts. We have ability to a vertically integrated supply chain, which allows us to work with our customers at different stages of their development through our in-house R&D team producing top quality science, documenting the effects of our products, and over to our manufacturing, where we can help our customers either selling them a probiotic blend or a powder that they put straight into their product, or we also have the capabilities to supply them with a finished format product, which is tableted or encapsulated, bottled and boxed and ready to sell to their customers. We work exclusively with brand owners within the healthcare industry, pharmaceutical industry, and food and beverage industry, where we as a business-to-business solution provider within probiotics can help them formulate and find the product that they will be successful with in the market space. In our growth strategy, we include that we as a company are aiming at strengthening our presence in key growth markets, Asia Pacific being one of those, for example, and also to continue to solidify and build on our strong position in premium probiotics. Our 3 decades long journey as a company, creating scientific validation around our probiotics and actually being able to tell the consumers, to tell our customers, the brand owners, that our probiotics will make a difference for your consumer is a very important selling proposition for us. We're also focused on growing our portfolio of large global accounts. Throughout this year, we have announced a few of that type of important customer relationships. I'll get back to that. And another element as well, our overall long-term objective is to double the sales of our company. We will do that organically, but also coupled with strategic partnerships as well as mergers and acquisition type of activities. Science is at the core of our company. If we go over to our second strategic focus area, we have for 3 decades been one of the leading players in this field in terms of pushing the boundaries for innovation and science within probiotics. We intend to continue to do that by expanding our range of clinically documented probiotic offerings, continue to work with universities and research groups all over the world in this field to find new and exciting areas of applications of probiotics. We also, with our unique competence as a company, are investigating as well other areas where, such as symbiotics and postbiotics, where actually our probiotic knowledge can be of use in developing new and exciting product formats. As a vertically integrated supplier within this field, the third strategic focus area for us is about manufacturing excellence. We have 2 manufacturing facilities in the US, one where we ferment, i.e. grow the bacteria, and one where we produce finished formats like tablets, capsules, or powders, and that also has the ability to bottle and box it as well. For us to be able to drive our growth journey as well, we need to be equipped with state-of-the-art manufacturing capabilities, as well as, of course, the capacity to fuel that growth for our company. Next slide, please. So within the realms of growing our company, we are today one of the companies with one of the most comprehensive probiotic portfolios. We divide it into 2 pieces or two areas. One, which we call Probi ClinBac, which is our range of most clinically proven and also proprietary and patented health concepts. These cover areas such as gut health, the largest area for probiotics, as well as immune health, and also other exciting application areas such as nutrient absorption, i.e. iron absorption, as well as bone health for postmenopausal women, recently launched and being a successful concept in the market as well. We also have a portfolio of what we call Probi LiveBack, which are safe probiotics for use in different customer applications depending on the customer's needs, the way they want to position it from a marketing perspective, or if they want to add additional health areas or health effects to their product. Our products are being delivered normally into dietary supplements, that's the biggest area of use, but also in food and beverages, a growing area across the world, and both areas hold great growth opportunities. From a health perspective as well, we can support the consumers across the lifespan, all the way from children and upwards through the aging human as well. So Probi's product portfolio is well positioned in the marketplace and provides us with great confidence for our future growth as well. Next slide, please. We are active on a worldwide market. The largest probiotic market in the world is the US. We have a very high portion of our sales in the US. As you can see on this slide here, approximately 70% of our total business is out of the US market. And with our position in Europe, the Middle East, and Asia relatively smaller. We see growth opportunities in all these markets. We wish to continue to position and drive the success of our CleanBack portfolio of products, the most premium part of our portfolio, and we still have uncharted territories and opportunities in that over in the US. For both Europe as well as Asia, we are very actively working on solidifying and increasing our position in these markets. And we have recently, over the past year or two, seen very positive results in that, attracting attention from large customers, providing us with opportunities for future growth and confidence that we will be able to have higher sales also in these regions in the future. The second largest market in the world today in probiotics is China. Recently overtook that position from Italy. That's a very exciting marketplace to be in. Probi, we have sales people on the ground there, and earlier this spring, we also announced a partnership with a well-known pharmaceutical company and one of their divisions there called Sinopharm in the Chinese market, who are right now engaged in launching Probi's concepts into that market. Next slide, please. Strategic partnerships and global accounts, two important elements of our growth strategy, as I mentioned before. During the summer, we announced an important strategic partnership as well as an investment into the New Zealand-based probiotic company, Bliss Technologies. They have, for a long time already, developed and manufactured very advanced probiotic strains for use in oral applications, for oral health, but also for upper respiratory tract infections in ear, nose, and throat. This collaboration with Bliss Technologies allows Probi to widen our portfolio and sell these solutions also to our customer base, as well as giving us the opportunity to manufacture these strains within our facilities in the US. So it's an important potential growth driver for Probi as we move into the future. We also last year announced an investment as well as partnership with Vital Nutrients and holding structure for a few brands very much targeted at use in the so-called practitioner and online channels in the US market. Our collaboration with them is proceeding very well, and we hope to see some new product launches coming as a result of that within the near future. From a global customer account, I mentioned earlier, it's important for us to grow the base of large accounts. And listed here, I already mentioned Sinopharm, but also recently we have announced the collaboration with the Swedish-based social selling, beauty and health company Oriflame, who are currently engaged in rolling out their first probiotic supplement in their health range of products into markets in their network. Earlier this year as well, we initiated the partnership with Irish American Perrigo for pan-European launch, eventually covering 14 countries across the EU, and where we have already products out in the market, and the relationship as well as the performance of these products are performing very well in the marketplace as we speak. So these are the type of customers that we are working with and where we see opportunities to grow together with them as we move into the future as well. Next slide, please. We are a research-driven company. We perceive ourselves, we are probiotic pioneers in the field based on our 30-year-long history, based on the foundation of clinical research conducted by a group of medical professionals here in Sweden. That has led to us conducting several hundreds of clinical trials that have resulted in several hundreds of scientific publications. We've also built a comprehensive and robust portfolio of patents and trademarks to protect our assets. And we continue to invest in this field to continue to be at the forefront in this field through academic and industrial partnerships, as well as through the capabilities and capacity in our own R&D team based here in Lund to a large extent. We continue to investigate exciting areas such as stress and mental health, vaginal health, women's health, metabolic health, etc. So there are exciting things in our portfolio as well for the future. Next slide, please. Some recent examples of this, for example, earlier this year, or quite recently actually, we presented or they were published very interesting and exciting results for good tolerance in newborn babies, in very, very small children, where this is the first study conducted on a Lactobacilli plantarum and Lactobacillus rhamnosus strain combination, where we saw that it established itself well in the intestines of newborn babies and is safe for use as well. What was also interesting in that publication, in this study, that we saw a potential positive effect on immune supporting effects, as the children that had Probi's probiotic concept or got Probi's probiotic concept did not develop any upper respiratory tract infections during the study period, whilst the children who had the placebo, they experienced, 25% of those children experienced that. So that's really encouraging results also that warrants further research for us into this field. Another very important area around women's health here, we early this year published the results from a study on 326 healthy pregnant women, looking at Probiferosorb's ability to improve the iron status during pregnancy for these women. Iron status or low iron reserves during pregnancy is a well-known, common worldwide health problem. And Probi's Ferrosorb concept is proven to actually increase or lower the decrease in important iron markers, as well as even having a lower incidence of iron-related anemia, iron deficiency-related anemia in this group of women. So very exciting results that have been published throughout this year. Next slide, please. Looking at manufacturing excellence, I did mention earlier that we have 2 manufacturing facilities in different areas in the US. One in the state of Washington, where we do fermentation, i.e. grow the bacteria, which then is used for producing tablets or capsules or other types of delivery forms at our second facility there in Colorado. Over the past year and a half, we've invested approximately 30 million kronas into expanding the capacity, as well as ensuring top levels of quality out of these facilities, supporting our continued growth journey as a company. So with that, I will be handing over to Henrik to give us a bit of a performance update for the first half of the year. So next slide, please.
Thank you, Tom. And I'm going to provide you with a brief update here on the performance for the first half year. So we have reported a currency-adjusted growth of 8%. We have had some headwinds regarding currencies this year with the weaker US dollars. So the reported number is minus 3% there. In terms of profitability, we have reported a 26% EBITDA margin for the first 6 months of this year, which is in level with last year. If we look at the last quarter, Q2, reported in the middle of the summer here, we reported 158 million Swedish kronor compared to 180 million Swedish kronor previous year, which is a currency-adjusted decline of 3%. There are some US customer dynamics behind that. We have 2 larger customers who did not place orders in Q2. That affected the Q2 numbers by approximately 15 million Swedish kronor. That also had an implication, of course, on our profitability. So we reported a profitability or an EBITDA margin of 25% compared to 32% previous year there. Moving to the next slide, please. If we look at the geographical split of our sales, looking to start with Americas, we had for the first 6 months, we reported a currency neutral growth of 8%. But once again, the FX effect was quite significant there, so it's minus 6% as a reported number. The profitability in that region is approximately in level with previous year. Moving over to EMEA, we have had a fantastic first half of this year. It's actually all-time high. We have reported 12% growth for the first 6 months here. Mainly driven by the launch of Perrigo, but also we have added a number of additional customers there. And in terms of profitability, we have EBITDA or a gross margin of 56% compared to 59% previous year. That slightly lower margin is an effect of additional launch cost in connection with some of these product releases. And if we move over to APAC, we have reported a decline of 7%, but we should keep in mind that the comparison period here was a very strong period during or in the beginning of the pandemic. That region in particular built up quite a lot of stock to be able to supply. So we are quite pleased with that number actually for the first half of this year. And in terms of profitability, the gross margin is a bit higher this year. We have a favorable product mix in that region. And next slide, please. And now we will move over to the Q&A.
Thank you for the presentation. I think we have time for 1 or maybe 2 questions. And I think we could start with sort of your acquisition agenda. You mentioned that you have a target to double your net sales. And that acquisitions are a part of that goal. Are you evaluating any acquisitions currently, and what sort of targets are you looking for?
We cannot comment on if we're evaluating any targets currently. It's a constant process for us to be in dialogue with potential targets at different stages of their sort of development. But when it comes to our interest areas, it is about expanding our product portfolio as one target area for us within the field of probiotics and related fields as well, where our competencies and capabilities can be leveraged for further growth and success. So one area is about expanding our product portfolio, and the second one is also about geographic consolidation and expansion. We know that we are relatively sort of small in certain regions for serving the purposes there. We can build that organically, of course, but it could also be through acquisitions in establishing a stronger footprint. It could also be through strategic partnerships as well to increase the power of Probi in certain regions. But those are the 2 main areas where we're focusing our efforts in terms of mergers and acquisitions.
And on those strategic partnerships, you recently announced a partnership with Bliss, and that expands your product offering into ear, nose, and throat. Where are you in the process of integrating Bliss into your product offering and getting it out to customers?
So the partnership was announced during the summer, and the work kicked off basically imminently or immediately in terms of educating Probi sales teams to be able to address our customers. The first customer meetings have already occurred actually, where we have also presented as a part of Probi's overall portfolio Bliss strain offerings. In our business, though, the product development times are quite long normally, so we don't expect to see an instant effect within this year. But throughout next year, we hope to be able to see bliss-related sales in our reportings or in our numbers. Also, as we will have the ability to manufacture bliss strains at our facility as well, the technological transfer has already started as well. That is a process, of course, to make sure that we can produce the same level of quality of their materials as they have done before. We are talking about live microorganisms here, so it's not just to sort of move a machine from one place to another or anything like that. But in our analysis, we've seen that with limited capex investments, but more sort of time to run trials and so on and so forth, we should be ready towards the end of this year to begin to manufacture bliss strains also in our facilities.
Okay, I think that is all the time we have today. Thank you very much, Tom and Henrik.
Thank you for the attention and thanks for inviting us. Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.